Why you playing this song again, bro? I thought we were about to start. Are you Bree Johnson? You trying to touch on me or something?
Sweet Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Action Require Media. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast of Action Require Media. Here we are dedicated to discussing hard truths and finding remedies for our problems. On this platform, we will stay engaged on all happenings in Mama Liberia, not limited to politics, religion, development, economy, security, crimes, war on illegal drugs, employment, youth, growth, and food production. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching and listening to Action Require Media. Here we educate, entertain, and empower. We would like for you to please share and like our show. And then you can also comment. If you want us to reach out to you, you want to be a commentary on the show, please drop your information via Messenger. Also, we are on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube on Action Require Media. Again, today we're going to be discussing some serious issues relating to Mama Liberia. Like again, I said, we educate, entertain, and empower. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. Please like and share our show. Today, we're going to be discussing serious issues pertaining to Mama Liberia, and we would like for our audiences, to be a part of this conversation. Again, I have some brilliant minds here to dissect and also give the commentary on those issues pertaining to Mama Liberia. Again, welcome. Please like and share our show. Before we go into our show, we'd like to go through our introduction. But before we do our introduction, we will do our opening prayer. And before we do that, I just want to say sometimes things going to be a little bit difficult, but remember, there's a better days ahead. So I will call on Sergeant Montgomery to do our opening prayer, and then we will go directly into our introductions. Sergeant Montgomery.
Thanks for having me. How am I audible enough? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right,
You're
let's pray.
sedition audible.
Father, Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you, Lord, for gathering us together, Lord, as we've come to discuss issues pertaining to our country. Let us have a fruitful discussion, Lord, and help to provide solutions in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sergeant Montgomery. So at this time, we will go directly into our introductions, and at this time, I will go to Dr. Archibald B. Wardle to introduce himself, and then Pastor Wardle.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy first Sunday, by the way. Happy new month, the month of May. It's a pleasure to be here and looking forward to the discussion today. I hope you follow us, send us your comment, and share our show if you can. We are excited to be here and looking forward to discuss issues about our country. So God bless you and happy to be here. See you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wardle. So at this time, we'll turn it over to Brother Edwin Saipor for his introduction. Brother Edwin.
Happy Sunday and happy May Day. This is the best month out of the year. I'm not even biased at all.
It's your
Zero. I'm not
birthday.
biased.
That's your birthday. That's your birth month.
I'm not biased. This is the best month out of the year. I just got it from somewhere. My name is Edwin Saipor Jr. I'm a writer. Thank you guys for tuning in every Sunday. I know people are watching before because I'll be talking to people in the background. So we appreciate you guys, and we're offering solutions over here. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Brother Edwin. At this time, we go on to
Yeah.
Sergeant
So the again
Leo
the name is
Montgomery.
Leo. So yeah, the name is Leo Montgomery. Let me say happy Sunday again to our listening audience via social media line. I look forward to having a very good show with my fellow panelists. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Remember real quick, where you got that sergeant from?
You know, call me offline and we'll talk. I
Talking
can't
like
speak
No
that.
much.
problem. No problem. Say less. Say less.
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Action Required Media. I'm Brother Joseph Brown, your host. All right, gentlemen, welcome again, and thanks for tuning in, and thanks for being here. As I said earlier, we have some brilliant minds here to discuss some sensitive information about Liberia and how we can move forward. We do it respectfully, and we will express our intent and our ideas on how things can be done properly in Liberia. Again, we educate, entertain, and empower. Welcome, gentlemen. So, I'm just going to run over the topics for today. Um, Discussion, and I think it's very interesting for us to propand on these topics. Vice President Jeremiah Koung's radio interview, AFL recruitment process broadcasted and its takeaway, xenophobia in Africa, especially in South Africa. Have they forgotten so soon? So, gentlemen, again, we are here to discuss these three main topics. President Jeremiah Koung had a radio interview some time ago, and we're going to play part of the interview, and then we will go through. We'll ask each member here to give the commentary, and we can discuss his commentary on that as well. And also, we're going to be discussing AFL recruitment process that were broadcasted live by some journalists, and we will discuss some flaws in that and what are some of the takeaways from that. And the main one is xenophobia in South Africa. South African asking other Africans, brothers and sisters, to leave that nation. We're also going to be discussing that as well. So again, gentlemen, welcome. So let me get this video of Jeremiah Koung on the radio show.
I got updated every day. Look, I hear people say, yeah, the Guinea got a huge Mediterranean, this and that, blah, blah, Liberia can make it. We got fighting forces here beside the army. I can cause of me. 2-3 person can cross in the morning to capture one whole city in some country. Yeah, yeah. It happened here, we know. But how did it help us? It destroyed us more. When gunfire at our border, it will be happening way in Lofa, but we'll start joking when we're in the road. The war will be more here among ourselves than what happening at the border. And so, soft diplomacy is the way out. Look, you were here during the Judy Bryant time, 2% making confusion. And the year we got in the morning, they were that Christian Muslim war. Some of you remember.
The geographical area there.
Imagine gunfire at the border.
All right, gentlemen, I'm just going to run it back real quick to the part where he was commenting on the Guineans military personnel on the border of Liberia. One more sec. Give me 1 second.
Even in Monrovia, yeah, the Guinea got a huge military and this and that, blah, blah, Liberia can make it. We got fighting forces here beside the army. I can cause of me. Two, 3 person can cross in the morning, they capture one whole city in some country. Yeah, yeah. It happened here, we know. But how did it help?
All right, gentlemen. I think you got the picture on what the vice president of the Republic of Liberia was speaking to. Again, I will give every one of us here an opportunity, maybe a minute or less, to kind of explain, maybe kind of like expand on what would be your take from the vice president remarks concerning the Guinean military personnel at the border, and how people were commenting that AFL cannot counteract the Guineans military.
I think he's delusional. That's what I think.
So you
Um,
think that the vice president of the Republic of Liberia is delusional?
I have more words for him, but
Okay,
I'm gonna
what?
stay
But
professional.
why will
But
you say that?
anyways,
Why will you say that?
well, first of all,
Is what he's saying is not right?
like he said, soft power is better than hard power, so you gotta go the diplomacy route. But what his delusion lies, he's not telling people how weak his army is. Mad by the fact that how much he paying them, ill equipped. We can go on and on and on. So he's lying to people, trying to appear. I think he's thinking like those voodoo ways or something, like a Yambwe kind of way. That like we're gonna overpower Guinean army, well disciplined, more educated, more equipped army, and you know what I mean. It's gonna result to soft power because that's what, because Guinea is our mercy. Are you kidding me? No, this is delusional. We don't need leaders like him. He's just lying. He's lying to the public. It's a bullfist lie, to tell you the truth. I think it's a bullfist lie. Liberal army is not ready to kill ants. Liberal army, they're hungry, bro. I was just telling you on the phone. They're hungry. They look hungry. Before you talk about fighting, tell me if you know that Liberal army could face a Guinea army. He's gonna tell you this is what we implemented. This is how our armies are well trained. This is the kind of military might that we have. He doesn't have that. He's just talking nonsense like people in the street and coming from the second in office.
Okay.
It just
All
tell you
right.
what the country is.
All right. Thank you, brother Edwin. Let me get the others take on this. Dr. Wallow, how do you look at, or how did you interpret the vice president's statement?
Thank you, CEO. Look, to be honest with you, um, when Guinea crossed into Liberia, and they claim the portion of land they still occupy today, I was not happy about it. And I think on this platform, I said that it was time for us to put aside politics and for us to speak with one national voice. And I think one of the reasons, there might be many reasons. One of the reasons that the Guinean crossed over to Liberia is because of the perception that Liberia is weak. Liberia can do nothing. Guinea has more military might. Guinea is well equipped. Liberia is not. And so we can do anything we want to do, and there will be no repercussion. And even Liberians, both at home and in diaspora, have also echoed that same sentiment. Today, Yaka Kolba is expelled from the House of Representatives because of statement that he made concerning the same Bolo issue. I am really, to be honest with you, I am disturbed when we talk about the Guinea and Liberian border situation, and a Liberian take the side of Guinea. What the vice president did, he recounted history. Okay, if we respect him as the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, we should also know his office has more information than we will ever have. He is briefed. He said it. He said, I'm briefed on the issue every day. He knows what we don't know. He is expressing as a leader of our country that with the sentiment that have been expressed by Liberians at home and abroad, that Liberia is a weak country, I disagree with that. We have men in this country, besides the AFL, we have men in this country that fought civil war in this country, that did a lot of things that we saw. Those men are still around. If you think Liberia is weak, we are not weak. We have men that are willing. And when the thing happened, we saw a few of those men came on the social media and they gave press conferences. The vice president was not saying that Liberia is going to declare war on Liberia. He is saying the sentiment that Liberia is weak, Liberia is not weak. We just choose the path of peace because we know what war can do. No one wins in a war. And if anybody thinks that Guinea can be Liberia, Guinea can subdue Liberia, you are wrong. You are wrong. We don't want war. But when it comes to us defending our territorial integrity, Liberians will step up. So what the vice president said, I support his statement 100%. That was reassuring Liberians that what you are saying about our weakness is not true. We are just seeking diplomacy with our Guinean counterpart because we don't want war. But Liberia experienced war before. Liberia have served as peacekeepers. The armed forces of Liberia have served as peacekeeper before. So we are not weak. And the vice president is not delusional. He is speaking from history. We order the Guinea. We fought for Guinea's independence. So he is speaking from a place of strength, and that is reassuring Liberians that yes, you may have that sentiment, but that is not true. But we just choose another route. And I expect every Liberian to support their president, to support the vice president, to support their government in this endeavor. Even if Liberia is weak, you should not be the one to say it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Wallow.
Dr. Wallow, that vice president doesn't have any military background. Anybody in your family whatsoever.
I can't. I personally can't speak of that.
How do you know that?
Well, this is the delusion we're talking about.
But how do you know he doesn't have the military background? To have a military background, this vice president, have you heard his story?
No.
He was explaining some story that, but he said he did not partake in Liberian civil war, but he was selling.
Every Liberian every Liberian that was in Liberia during the civil war partook in the Liberian civil war. That is an experience. I did not take arm, but I participated in the Liberian civil war because I was there.
Well, on this, Dr. Wallow, I'm going to 100%
if you say participated in the civil war, what are you trying to insinuate?
What I'm saying is that we when you were in Liberia during the Civil War, your participation was your experience. You saw the war. You went through the war. Look, when you speak of participating in the war, people might categorize you as somebody who took arms against some faction. So I would say maybe you can rephrase that word. Let me clarify what I meant. I'm still here.
Okay.
So the war that was fought in Liberia was in different sections. Okay, there were times that in certain part of the country, okay, like for example, if you were behind the line where Charles Taylor, okay, was controlling, you have a command that will bring a jet bombers to come and bomb the place. Even though you were civilian, but you learn how to hide, you learn how to take cover, because you learn how to preserve yourself because you didn't want to be hit by that. That is participation.
Okay.
Okay, that is, but you don't have to pick up arm for you to participate in a war. You learn how to take cover, as we used to say it.
Save
So
yourself.
every Liberian that was in Liberia during the war, they experienced that. Okay,
Okay.
they had that experience. Okay, it's
All right.
Mr.
participation experience.
Mr. Montgomery, will you let somebody that learn how to take call in the water and spin war story to you?
All right. So
Pastor is not explaining a war story, Edwin. He's
all
not
right, gentlemen.
explaining war story. He is assuring Liberians that we are not weak as you guys are saying. We
Okay.
have men,
All right.
okay, in Liberia. He has the
Tadewala,
armed
let
forces,
me let
and I
me
support him on that.
let me get Sergeant Montgomery. Um
Okay.
Montgomery.
A- 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 Again, thank you, CEO. Thanks to my fellow panelists. Like, I thought Edwin was being too diplomatic in using words. Look, this vice president is crazy. We have a vice president who does not know his function as a vice president, who gets up and open his mouth and just talks spew out garbage. Look, we've experienced 14, almost 15 years of civil war. We don't want to go back to our dark days. But when the vice president even shoved his foot in his mouth, the vice president sat on public media and agreed that Liberia has men today to enter into Guinea and capture a town. Now, who are the men? Look at the guys who fought Liberian Civil War. Are those the lawless guys? Guys who did not know who to kill, who to fight? Are those the ones that the vice president is bragging of to say we have men that can enter into Guinea? Of course, that's a recipe for civil war, for war, conventional war at this point. Guinea will take that and say, okay, we were being very kind, but now we can step on the gas because the vice president has challenged us to war. CEO and my fellow panelists here, you guys will agree with me. It was a 14, 15 years of senseless war. Guys who were killing their own mothers, who were killing their own sisters. Guys who has no understanding of what war is. And those the ones that the vice president is now saying we have men to enter into Guinea. And who are the men? But let me tell you what is even more scary about this thing. The vice president said, we have them here. They are here. Hold on. Aren't you supposed to be bragging of our national army? What's the separate group away from the national army that the vice president is talking about? This vice president needs to come out and show all these people that he's talking of, because it's even more scarier. Some of us that are looking at 2029 to challenge the system. The vice president is also telling us that, look, if the need be, a push come to shove, we will not use AFL on y'all. We will use the so-called group that we have. What is the vice president talking? CEO and Dr. Wallow. This president, I mean, this vice president does not know where his left is, where his right is. And I thought
Okay.
Edwin was being too professional to use words on him.
All right, gentlemen. I mean, one thing that would set us apart from things, I think we should learn to respect the office of the presidency and the vice presidency. Let's respect the office. We can disagree.
CEO, nobody
We
use
can
words on it. We
no
respect
no
the man. To go
no. I'm saying
somewhere, we
we can
respect him.
disagree. We can disagree with them, but uh, let it be very I don't want to say polite, but maybe polite in a
So,
Very
way
mature in
that
our expression.
in our expression. So at least in a way, if the vice president is going to listen to you, he's going to be like, okay, yeah, I can get this from this. So I would just say, let's just keep it respectful. But
I
again, this
thought
what
I was being respectful. If I'm
yeah,
not respectful on a regular day, I'm gonna say you out of your damn mind. That's all I'm gonna say.
of course,
But
and
I
I would
said
have supported you.
I said he's delusional, and he went to school. You know what delusional is?
okay.
So I'm not
So
gonna. No, I have a higher respect, Brown. Just to buttress on what you are saying, I have the higher respect for the office, even though we have evil people running it. I'm not the kind of person. If somebody is here, you're doing evil, you're in position of power, I still give you the respect because vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I don't give, give people cross words and all that. So I will respect you if you're in the position. That's what I do.
Okay. Thank you for acknowledging
Good eye.
that. So this is what I would say. I think to some point, a certain point in his comment, I would agree with the president, the vice president. I think he was addressing those remarks people were making about AFL cannot counteract the Guinean military forces, and I would agree to so many that like AFL we are not in our numbers, okay, all right, to battle Guineans military. And I would say that we are short. I mean, 2,000 men compared to 8,000 plus or 9,000 plus military men with heavy equipment. I think to a point where Sergeant Montgomery were addressing the fact that he mentioned there are other men. He can name three people who can go into Guinea and do X, Y, and Z. And this, I think, that was wrong coming from the highest office, one of the highest office of the land. He could have be boastful of the military of Liberia, AFL, and he could have said, "We have a defense system here. Our AFL can protect us no matter what happened. They are trained, they are educated, they know the landscape of Liberia, and we can handle this when we want to. But we are going to fight this diplomatically," which of course he did state at the certain time in his statement. He said the goal is diplomatic effort, and that's what they aim at. I think his response was to other Liberians who were saying that Liberians AFL can do anything to Guinean. We don't have the power to do or to withstand the resistance from Guinea. Again, like I said again, I think mainly he could have been very mindful of how he was speaking because he is coming from a higher office. Okay, so whatever he says, most times people believe it and people run with it. So I think where he was interjecting that we have other bodies here that are capable of defending Liberia. Don't get me wrong, it's true. You know, you might have civilians coming into the military just in case if the military depleted and say, "Hey, I'm ready to take an arm for my country." And you will see a lot of young men coming in. They might train you for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks
CEO,
and
the vice president,
indoctrinate you into AFL.
the
But
vice president
he could
said
have
we have
said it. He could
men.
have said it in a. Say it again.
He said we have men, meaning right now there are men ready. And men outside of AFL, he is saying that we have men who are ready to go and capture town in. So the president, the vice president did not say we will recruit, no. And he said that we would understand. But he said we have men. Now you understand when Guineans enter into Solomon region, there were guys with single barrels with cutlasses, and I want to believe that those are guys who look. We understand that this President Bwaka and his vice president, they will not depend on leaving power easily. So they are creating everything to hold power. You saw those guys, senseless guys who were at the border there at the Solomba area with machete, with single barrels. And if you want to talk about men that he's going to name, is it the Yaka Kolba there? Is it the butt naked guys there who had no sense of what war is? So the vibrant needs to come and tell us how these guys are getting funded, who is paying them, who is using the Liberian taxpayers' money to fund them, and also you are funding a separate group, and why AFL is languishing. That's what we're going to speak to. The vibrant needs
Are
to
you
come
saying?
out.
Are you saying
Yeah,
that? Are you
hold on.
saying that we have
Let me say
separate groups
something.
in Liberia? Separate
That's
military
what he
groups?
said. That's not what I say. You
Look,
heard the tip. Listen to the
look.
tip. That's what the vice president said. He said we have men. We have. He's not saying we
But
will
he
recruit.
did say men. But this is what I think, right? This is what I
See,
can
all the guys said we
infer.
have men who can go and
But this is what I
capture.
can infer.
These are not
If he,
men that you train.
but if we go back to the incident when the Guinean arrived at the border, there were a lot of people coming up making statements because the government was silent. Okay, so you have Liberians coming up making statement that if nothing happens, they will retaliate. Okay, so based on those retaliated statements that people put out, you can infer that certain group of people, you can name them. Look at
See,
those
you
guys that
just
was
made the
in Nema
vice president
County.
look bad by what you just said. You just made the vice president look even more silly by what you just
Brown,
said.
Brown.
I just think that is
Here's the thing, bro. Like, I got a BS alert on reality. If you drive to Camp Shuffling right now, which is the barrack of the army, nothing has improved. I have an insider over there. We're just talking about T. Houston talk today, but I have an insider in Camp Shuffling. All these war tanks that are there, they are all old and breaking down. They never improve anything for a very long time. So for you to come on national media and say this thing with a bullshit, I think you're lying on purpose. That's why I say he's delusional
Edwin,
because I have some background.
Edwin,
I have some background stuff. All the AK-47 and M16s over there in Camp they are rusty.
but okay, gentlemen, let us not divert from the main topic, right? I think we get our point across here. Trying to look at or take apart the vice president's statement. I'm saying that in case in because of his high office, okay, he's been like Dr. Wallace said, he's been daily briefed, okay, about information concerning the border. Now, if I were him, all right, I would have exhibit or just show off our AFL. We have the fight. We have the best fighting forces in West Africa. I would say something like that. Okay, we have the best fighting forces in Africa, in West Africa. We have this. Our men are capable of doing this. They are guerrilla welfare tactic training, something like that. Say something like that. But to interject that you have separate guys, that you will be depending on. I just think that was a wrong statement. He shouldn't have said that. But again, I think that particular statement was to a certain group of people who were asking many questions of why the government cannot
Exactly,
speak
CEO.
out to the issue.
Exactly. So let me say this.
Yep.
The vast now, you guys have to understand one thing. The vice president, number one, he was not speaking to Guineans. He
Yep.
was speaking to Liberians.
Yes.
He was speaking to a Liberian audience, a Liberian audience that have expressed a lot of pessimism in their government's effort to defend the country. The vice president is saying to them, don't only look at the armed forces of Liberia. We also have men that have experience in war. Those men are here.
Yeah. Ready.
He said that. Said those men are here. Here where? In Liberia. And some of those men came on social media and did a social media post. Okay. One second, let me end, my brother, let me end.
Dr. Wanda, you're making the situation even worse as it is.
Okay, he is not degrading. He was not degrading the armed forces of Liberia. But so number one, we first need to take into account his audience. Two, the statement of the vice president was not inciting war. President Bouakai did not speak. Vice President Koung did not speak, but Guinea entered Liberia. Okay. It was not a statement that was issued by Liberian government that made Guinea to enter Liberia. On the same platform, Sergeant Montgomery, you said Guinea was going to march up to, but now Guinea was going to be in Monrovia. That's what you said.
Yeah, you know what? Stop there.
Hold on. I'm not asking you a question.
Okay.
Whatever that stopped them, that you don't want to know that. Okay, but what I'm saying to you is that you also thought that your government could not protect or could not defend Liberia. You thought that. You believe that.
I know that. Dr. Wallo. I know that.
You see that. Now the vice president now is saying to you,
It's
saying to you that you shouldn't believe that your government cannot defend your country. There are Liberians that will stand up, and you yourself you were trying to to point out the fact that when the Guinean first entered Liberia, it was ordinary civilians that
I
stopped them.
defend it. Yeah.
CEO,
Ordinary civilians
CEO,
step up and
Yeah.
stop them. Do you know why those civilians pull back? Because their government told them to do that.
Yeah.
CEO.
Tata
What
Wallo,
is most
let's
The point. Hold on.
Wait.
The point
we have
here.
two more
The point
we have two more
here is-
topics to discuss. It's
the
almost
point here is that the point here is what the vice president is saying is that there are Liberians that will step up when
Are
it
we-
when
are
when it
willing.
comes to that. But it shouldn't be some Liberians. It should be all Liberians, including the two of you and Edwin. Okay, when it comes to defending
but the vice president
country,
should be ready
you
too.
all should step up,
Yeah.
not just the AFL.
Okay.
Well,
So,
Dr. Wallo,
Montgomery,
you
Edwin,
and the
Edwin, hold
vice
on.
president,
Edwin,
whatever
Edwin, 1
you're trying
second.
to back,
Edwin.
that's why I'm saying the delusion is coming from, because you're looking at Guinea, a well-to-do army that you're saying you're speaking on the media and then only for your Liberian audience. Like, I have to
There you
say,
go.
the powerful army does not have reconnaissance to listen to all media to watch what you're doing. That's where the delusion is coming from.
No, Edwin, I
You-
agree
you
with
really
Dr.
need
Wallo
to
here.
what's
I agree with
the
Dr.
power
Wallo.
to do?
I'm
The
not
particular
saying
comment,
that
the
Guinean
vice
are going to
president's
hear his
statement,
statement.
the
I am
vice president's-
saying that he is speaking to Liberians.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Guinea will not hear his statement. Who cares when Guinea hear his statement? Who cares?
CEO,
But he is
Yeah.
assuring Liberians. His
Montgomery.
statement is to Liberians. That's what I'm
Montgomery,
saying.
go ahead.
you know what we are defending here is even more. It's even wrong. The vice president misspoke. The vice president, first of all, had it not been the intervention of EU and AU and other African or other international bodies, Guinea would have probably taken over the whole of Foya. Okay? The fact that Guineans decided to pause or pump brakes on right now, as I'm talking to you, right now, CEO, there are Guinean soldiers at a Solomba region, which AFL cannot put foot. We have a fighting force
Because they
that
have
has
been
not
deployed.
put foot. We have what's that to
Exactly.
deploy? Who is that to deploy?
Hey guys,
The
man.
AFL don't
See,
just jump
let me
up.
tell
They
you
got
the-
generals.
See, let me tell
They
you.
gotta
Let
listen
me tell
to-
you the greatest disrespect to a nation. If a foreign soldier comes into your country and take down your flag and put it down without you doing nothing, and what the vice president did is almost feeding red meat to the dog. If the
This-
Guineans
this-
wanted to overrun Liberia today, there's nothing for any fighting force you have. They will just be innocent people to die.
No, they
for
will.
no
They will meet
reason.
some resistance. They will meet a lot of resistance. This is what I would say,
100%
right?
concur with
This
Mr.
is my
Montgomery,
problem.
100%.
This is my problem with Liberian government. This is my problem with Liberian government. I think Liberian government need to be clear, transparent with the Liberian people. They need to state why Guinea is in Liberia. They need to have press conferences. Joseph Boakai need to address the nation.
The vice president said it. They are
What I'm
pursuing
saying-
soft diplomacy. They are pursuing
No,
soft
Tata
diplomacy.
Wallo, Tata Wallo,
Diplomacy takes
Tata
time.
Wallo, Tata Wallo.
takes
I
time.
would disagree with you on that. I would disagree with you on that. What I would say here is,
Okay, that's fine.
no, I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying here is, my point, the point I'm trying to make,
that EU,
Tata Wallo, Tata Wallo,
AU, and ECOWAS step
Tata
in.
Wallo,
How
Tata
EU,
Wallo.
AU, and ECOWAS step in? The
Tata
government
Wallo.
is pursuing.
But the
that.
point,
The
the point I'm
government is
trying to
talking
make,
to people.
the point I'm trying to make here, we all don't understand. We all don't even know why Guinea is on our soil, and I can bet you the Liberian government knows. Joseph Boakai, the vice president, these guys need to be explaining to the Liberian people why Guinea is still on the soil of Liberia. The military, they have not had conferences. They don't have televised platform where they would just go up there and tell the Liberian people why Guinean soldiers are on Liberian soil. I don't know yet. Dr. Water, do you know? Sergeant Montgomery, do you know why Guinea is still in Liberia?
Well,
I can tell you what I know.
I mean,
Brian,
all we're doing here, we just
Brian,
making
Dr.
things
Waller,
up
you guys are
as we
so
go.
educated when it comes to the Liberal war and thing. They are result of countrymen. Like, you guys are so educated. Your whole education system is breaking down. Who
Yeah.
teaching the AFL how to do all the different stuff? You guys get result to this. Patterson, let me go kill myself. Do you know a
Yes.
lot? Are you kidding me?
Look,
Your whole
okay,
education system is breaking down. Where is your AFL? What kind of education your AFL is getting? The
gentlemen,
regular
gentlemen,
population is not getting that.
gentlemen. This is what I would say, right? Like I said, to speak on Sergeant Montgomery point, AFL cannot deploy themselves. Okay, their executive branch got to order them to go. The general way assigned to go.
CEO,
AFL can
that
just
cannot
jump up
happen
and go
because
to
you
the
have
border.
nothing to deploy. You
What are
have
you what are you
nothing
talking
to
about?
deploy. What are you going against the Guinean soldiers that have air bombers coming from in the air,
It doesn't
coming from
matter.
land,
It doesn't
anywhere?
matter.
What
Look,
are you,
I can tell
what
you
are you
this.
going to do?
I can tell you this. If
The man
national
will come back
defense,
and CEO, what are we saying here?
if national defense
Mr.
come out
Montgomery, the
tomorrow,
Minnesota, they give
I
you a
can,
trash when
gentlemen,
it comes to
gentlemen,
that
Yeah.
brain stuff.
gentlemen, if national
And these are
defense
the
come
things
out
that I
tomorrow,
say, oh, you got mentioned
if
like brother bullet can bounce on the chest.
if,
That
if
what
the defense minister, if the defense minister addressed the nation tomorrow and
you guys are
said
joking, I
we are
don't
going
care.
to counteract Guineans' action at the Solomon border, we are deploying men at the border, you will see action. But the defense minister
CEO,
cannot do anything
do you know
without the
that the
executive
police
branch.
IG, you know that the police IG Gregory Coleman took men and went to paraded himself to the border? Who
It
sent
was
him
just
there?
it was just for show.
Well, just for a show, you know how much was used for the national
Look,
conference?
that's all
Almost $2 million
politics.
for
That's
that
all
thing
politics.
you
We
saw.
just which I
Almost what you
understand you
call
though. That was
politics, these
right.
are things we know. Then you say
You
politics.
no. No, I'm not
What?
saying you playing
CEO,
politics. I'm saying what Gregor Como was doing. They were playing politics,
but
making it
CEO,
making it
do you
seems
know that?
that they
Do,
making it seems that they arrested the situation, which of course they did
but do you know
not.
what that could have done? You know, by appearing to that border, you know what that could have done?
What do you mean? What?
CEO, look, we should just thank God that the
President
Guineans.
Montgomery, can I ask you and Edward a question?
I'm here to answer you, Dr.
This
Wallo.
sure thing to a Democrat and Republican in a heartbeat because
Dr.
the
Wallo took
Democrat are
part.
up.
Dr. Wallo, yeah, Dr. Wallo took part in LeBron Civil War. Dr.
They put
Wallo said
in
he
a
took part in LeBron
diplomat
Civil War.
like they
Dr.
liberal
Wallo
people
took
that
part in
want to
LeBron
solve
Civil War.
everything
So
with wars and
Tata
stuff.
Wallo,
what
Let
go
Dr.
me,
ahead
Wallo,
and ask a
let me,
question so we can go to the next
yeah, let
topic.
me ask the two of you a question.
okay.
Since the vice president made a statement, do you have any evidence that that statement has triggered Guinea to mobilize their men in pursuit of war with Liberia?
CEO, let me say CEO, Dr. Wallo. I do not sit there and tell you, say, oh yeah, this is the evidence that I have. But one thing I can tell you for sure is that the Guineans are not going to leave that border. The Guineans will not leave that border. I don't have the evidence you want me to produce to you, but I know that the Guineans will not leave that border.
And they will
Okay.
not leave the border because of the statement of the vice president.
Not necessarily because of the
Well,
statement,
I mean,
because of
but
what Liberia
they
did,
they,
what
they have
our
been there
government did
before.
in the region. Yes. It's not because of
Okay,
what it
so
was saying.
that is what I'm going to say to you. You may be right that they're not going to leave the border, but Joseph Boga is not going to be president for Liberia forever. Okay, we will have a president that will make Guinea to leave that border.
So
It may
CEO,
not
that's
be
what
now, it may not be 2 years from now, it may not be 3 years from now,
Dr.
but
Wallo,
Guinea are going to leave our soil. They will
CEO, please give
leave
me 30
our
seconds.
soil. They
Yeah,
will.
Tata Wallo.
Dr. Wallo, you just said something now that's speaking into CEO's point. Why we are waiting for 2029 for a new leadership to come to be able to face this issue? Why would this government put Liberia in this kind of predicament, hoping that the next government will come and build them out after they have caused this chaos? What are we saying, Dr. Wallo?
All right,
Oh, yes, the Guineans
gentlemen.
must go ahead, drive our people. The people are not farming, kids are not going to school. It's almost
Right.
like war zone.
Pastor Kruma,
Dr. Wallo is telling me,
I'm not talking about the repercussion of the Guinean being on the border. What I'm saying to you is that the violation of Liberian sovereignty by Guinea entering into Liberia, this administration chose to follow soft diplomacy. It may
no,
work, it may not work. But if
Dr. Wallo,
let's assume if it does not,
let me tell you
if
what's happening.
in the future, one
The
second, let me just
Liberian government, and
let me
that's what
just
the
tell you.
CEO is
Well, you
saying.
not let me in.
This is what the CEO is saying. The Liberian government, for which Guinea has encroached into our country, the Liberian government needs to be open and transparent and truthful to our people. What the Liberian government did or has done in the Guinean region that caused the Guinean to intrude into our country, the Liberian government knows what's going on. They need to come and be transparent and be truthful instead of
Yeah,
waiting for the next government to come and bail them out.
Sergeant Montgomery, if you want to say that, you can say it. Okay, that's not what I'm
But that's,
saying.
that's the
Okay,
fact.
yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with you or the CEO statement about transparency. What I'm saying to you, and that you need to let me in with, is that what the Guinean did is a provocation of war. Guinean provoked Liberia to war by then entering into our country. What the government, this administration, chose to do is not to react to that, is to seek soft diplomacy according to the vice president. It may work, it may not work. But I'm telling you that the Guinea will not remain on Liberian soil.
Okay,
If President
Dr.
Walker
Wallo,
does not solve this
Dr.
issue,
Wallo,
we will
let me
have
ask,
a president that
let
will
me ask,
solve this issue. That's what
let
I'm
me
saying.
ask each and every one of us here a question, right? Based on this, I just want to understand how will you react to the situation. Okay, for example, now what's happening in the Lofa region? If the Guinean decide to advance into Lofa, okay, and we're still doing diplomatic talk, and then they advance into another county, we keep doing diplomatic stuff. Liberians will feel that the government cannot protect them. Okay, I would if I was in a situation, I'll be like, okay, the government cannot protect me. Okay, you elect another foreign military personnel to be on our soil day and night. You don't even know what they're doing on that soil. You don't know if they. I'm just saying. You don't know what our crimes going on in that particular area. You done. My thing is the Liberian government or Liberians some clarity here. They need to come out. Joseph Boga need to come out, and that's what the president will be doing. The president will be putting pressure on these guys. Let them speak on the issues. Again, gentlemen, let's move to the next topic. We'll still come back to this, but our next topic, we will be looking at the armed forces of Liberia recruitment process that were broadcasted. What
CEO,
is there to take away?
before we move on to the next topic, can I just
Yeah.
put in this point?
Okay. Okay. I'll get 30 seconds to everybody.
Yeah.
30
So
seconds.
my 30 second. Now, when you read Luke chapter 14, then from 30th to 35, when you read that, right, Jesus gave a very important scenario, and he said, "What king goes to war with another king without first sitting down to count the cost of that war, whether he is able to fight that war and complete that war?" That's what Jesus said. What I think President Bouaka is doing is exactly that. He is counting the cost of war. Is Liberia able to facilitate war right now? Are we able to fight this war, to win this war? And if he is not convinced of that, what does he do? He seek diplomacy. Okay, he will not take a country to war when he knows that as president he is not able to win that war. So let's support what this administration is doing. They don't want to have the data. They have the information. All we have is what is flying around here and there. Okay, he is charged with the responsibility, the constitutional responsibility of defending this country. He is the commander in chief. So let's support our government against
Okay.
this what Macau of Guinea. That is what I am saying.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Waddle. But I would say to you,
30
I
seconds. 30
disagree.
seconds.
Yeah, I disagree with your statement on that part. I think Liberian government, they are there to protect the citizen and the sovereignty of the land. So if another man comes and encroach on your land for more than 15, 30 days, I think it's a weakness on your part. You cannot protect, and so you gotta protect and you gotta protect your people and protect your land at the same time. Again, I think the government is weak on that part. Forget what is diplomacy because it's taking longer time. What if these guys intended to advance? I just think is some weakness on our part, and I think is the next government coming in place. You understand that we need to be prepared militarily for any other actions from any aggressor. Guinea is an aggressor here in Liberia. Again, that's why I was stopped. Brother Edwin, 30 seconds, and then Brother Chroma, then we go to the next topic.
Well, yeah, we have to move to the next topic because this is not time to speak English. Like, bro, how many people have rusty guns? They can't eat. They don't have food. They're blind. That's just the truth. It's gonna hurt you or whatever you want to say. That's reality. Stop being deluded and trying to act strong and tough in the means of diplomacy and soft power or whatever. Reality is reality. The same data that the water that you're talking about, they have the data of how many people poor in the country. They have the data of how many people not going to school. Why they not effectuating the data of those people? They don't have no data. They're delusional. They're out of their mind. That's
All right,
me.
thank
That's
you.
it.
Montgomery.
See you. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask my fellow panelists here a question.
Go ahead.
Why do we celebrate Armed Forces Day in Liberia?
To appreciate
Anybody
our
can answer me.
I think to appreciate our military and show off our military capability.
Okay. Edwin,
I think.
Dr. Walu, anybody can.
Armed Forces Day just celebrating the army, the AFL or something, whatever in reference to that band, whatever. That's what it said. They get you and
Okay.
appreciation.
All right. Dr. Walu, you want to take a bite on this?
No, I'm not going to answer that question. So,
Thank you. You're a very smart man. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that. Listen, this is why I respect you. You're a very smart man. You see, by this act of the Guineans encroaching into our country, we need to abolish celebrating Armed Forces Day. There's nothing there to celebrate. We don't have an army that can defend Liberia. Let's go to the next topic, CEO.
I disagree, man. We do have. I mean, I can defend Liberia, bro. All right, let's go to the next topic. All right. So the next topic, like I said, we're gonna be discussing.
Yeah, I mean, I never win North Carolina. I don't want to defend you. What you guys talking about, bro? You're just speaking book.
All right. So our next topic here, we're gonna be discussing the Armed Forces of Liberia recruitment
There
exercises
we
that
go.
was broadcasted, and again, we'll learn from it
Liberia for
as we
Joko.
go.
I am purpose to serve my nation and support my fellow citizens.
Hey,
Purpose. Proud.
All right. We're gonna let me play it one more time. If you guys didn't, okay.
I am purpose to serve my nation and support my fellow citizens. Purpose.
All right, gentlemen. That's it there. Um, just from looking at this, and you know, it speaks volume.
Mr. Montgomery,
to
let
a lot
relax. They may gonna, but
it
they probably
speaks
debunk themselves.
it
Just
speaks
relax.
it speaks a lot of volume to things.
they got me see
And
that saying
again, it it shows that we are lacking in certain capacity in certain areas. And again, we'll open this for discussion. Where do you see, what do you see here, and how can we go forward with this? Is this exercise rightfully done to be broadcasted like this? Because it shows some weaknesses. And what are some of the weaknesses and strength that you see in this video that we can learn from?
okay, so
I thought I was live.
yeah, CEO, let me
Now he happen to talk. Go ahead.
let me say this. You know, when you watch the video, you're going to see what you want to see. That is what I saw. That is what I saw. I saw a young woman who stepped up, want to be, want to serve her country, want to be part of her country's military in service to her country. Now, when recruitment is going on, CEO, there are different dynamics that play into it. Different things happens with the individual and also with the activities of that recruitment. We don't know exactly what was going on with the young woman, right? She read the entire sentence, the entire statement. She missed one word, proud. She said, instead of saying proud, she said purpose. And the entire internet went head scatter. How about her stepping out to serve her country? We don't talk about that. Look, let me tell you something. The United States media, they are certain information they don't put out for America. It stays right here in this country. But just a little thing, as long as it is bad, as long as it's negative about Liberia, we put it out all out there. And we are now ready to destroy our own country with our own words. I refuse to contribute to that. Because what I saw young, vibrant Liberians and youth, Liberian people that are stepping out to serve their country. Whether they make a mistake in reading a statement, that is not important to me. What is important to me is the motivation. They want to serve, and they should serve their country, regardless whether they make a mistake in reading a statement. That is not important. But that's exactly what my brothers and here are going to speak to. Okay, but I'm not going to speak to that because that is not important.
Well, Dr. Wally, you answered that thing like a Carloon document. I gotta give it to you. I have no qualms against that girl at all. She's beautiful. I think she's pretty. I think she got a lot of confidence. I blame the breakdown the system on the government and stuff. I'm not gonna. I don't have anything bad towards her, but I think that I'm not gonna Dr. Wallow it because the more you do that, you just sound like a car salesman. Like I don't have anything against her. Seriously, like I blame the system that's all to prepare her for this place to be able to read out loud and stuff. I read it. I don't find anything funny. They actually aggravating to me to tell you the truth. I don't find it funny. I don't find no video like looking at somebody's door or whatever. If everybody's given the opportunity to have access to education and then they are like that, then that's the problem. But no, I don't. I need that girl. I'm not on the social media anymore, but I'm gonna follow her. I'm gonna look for her. She's brave. She's brave. If you're listening, you're brave, and you have a lot of confidence more than me. You have a lot of confidence, and you're beautiful. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Edwin.
Thank you, Edwin. I like that.
Really,
I
really
like that
appreciate you
statement.
saying that.
Sergeant Montgomery, you want to go?
CEO, why I salute those young men and women who, went in to get enlisted or try to join the Liberian National Army. Let's ask ourselves, had it not been that Guinea entered into our country, will you see this happening?
Yeah, they have recruitment exercises going on though, but it's not ongoing.
No. Had it not been that Guinea entered our country, this would not happen.
Let
First of all, let me tell you
let us not add a stigma to it.
I'm just trying to tell you that Liberia is not a country that's ready for anything. CEO, that particular video, look, object matter. You know what's wrong with that video, CEO? You know there were people who slept outside. Now you can speak to the patriotism that they want to give back to the country. But you know what happened? Those people were abused. They were down there to almost 3-4 a.m. Mosquitoes and everything. Now you will say, oh yeah, they are patriotic, they want to serve the government. But you know what happened? We are trying to say there must be a high school graduate for which we saw them display them on social media. That's not how you recruit people. First of all, it should have been televised. It should have been even carried out in a way where people will come. If you're driving, you see that, people are sending to be enlisted. That's not how it happened. But what that did, it just showed us to the international world that look at our country trying to recruit army, and this is how they are treating these people. Now, mind you, they are not army militant, they are not militants yet. They are just civilians who are trying to be enlisted, and look at the kind of harsh treatment that was given to them. Okay, I agree. I love the energy of them trying to get back to the country. But Liberia is now a COS country under this government, my brother.
Let me
Ask
say
me a
this,
question.
right? I don't know what kind of harsh treatment you're talking about. Can you mention one harsh treatment
CEO,
you
I
saw
just told you
because it
those
was standing
people were
outside?
left to sleep outside on that line.
But let me this
We
this is
were
what I
giving
want to
them drugs.
clarify. This is why I want to state,
Go
right?
ahead.
I think they went there for a purpose and for a goal. Okay, we have Black Fridays here in the States. People sleep outside just for Black Friday
That's
to
a
buy
different thing,
TV.
CEO.
What make it
That's a
different?
different thing.
You
It's
go in
different.
for us. You go in for a purpose. So if the
It's different,
recruitment
CEO.
if the recruitment center is not open, if it's open at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I want to be number one, I go early, 10 hours early, and stay online, just to enter. I mean, I'm just saying. Everybody looks at it differently, but this is what I see, and I think you're right. But again, I would speak on the side of AFL. I think they want to be transparent, but in the process of being transparent, it exposed our education system in Liberia. Okay, it exposed our education system in Liberia. All right. Now, I'm not saying those people who cannot read and write should be rejected from the military. I think they can be accepted into the military, and the military should send them to school. Okay, they can learn how to read and write and do other stuff. And like my comrade said, Edwin said, he applauded the girl for her bravery, and she did it. And me too. Like I said, Edwin said, she's beautiful, and it was awesome for her being there. I want a job and I want to protect my nation just in case anything happen. Okay? I saw videos of people standing in lines on the side of these construction walls. Again, there are certain things our young people, young men and women in our country are lacking that the country is not giving them. Look, I think Liberians need to share its wealth. Okay? Not just for the politicians. Okay, those young men and women who are out there trying to survive, trying to make life. Let us give them a better life. Free education.
Brown, when you
George,
say
we are
well, what do you mean? What do
What's
you
that?
mean when you say well? What do you mean? When you say well, what do you
When I
mean?
mean wealth, I'm speaking on the country natural resources that have been exported out of the country. Okay,
I did
so
not the
the
reason to talk. Give me
so
ball hands.
so the
Quick,
money that
bro.
is
I'm
coming
sorry.
in, I think it should be equally
Do the
distributed,
natural
or
reason to
some
talk.
should be given to the country. Okay, like Joshua was doing, giving people free scholarship. I think there should be an initiative for those people who cannot pay for tuition to be able to go to school and educate themselves.
Brown, the problem that we have in the country, why is the government being a susu master for the country? Why do you always have to be giving to people? You need a set system so things can go in ordinance and
So,
people go that way and manufacture
look,
wealth for themselves.
high school,
Stop being a
high school in
susu
America,
master.
high school in America is not free.
No, stop being a
No,
susu
I'm asking you a
master for
question.
people.
High school is free.
High school is free.
So it should
because
happen in Liberia, because I'm just saying, because there are young people who cannot afford those tuitions. Let it be free for some of them.
if you have a susu master mindset, you're not gonna help people. You need to equip people so they can help themselves. Again, I always say this is gonna be
Referencing
the
to
million
what?
time I say
What?
this.
So okay.
Regular people are smarter than you. If you're on top there and thinking that you're smart, they got a lot of talented people that are sitting that don't have access to education. They're way talented than you. So the fact that you want to be an overlord over these people and you don't want to release them and educate them so they can find a way, that's a problem.
And that's what I was saying.
That's what it is.
Educate the people. They don't have the finances to educate themselves. Why not? Why not provide free education for them? Like I said, they should open a military school. When I mean military school, I'm not talking for officers and other stuff like that. Yeah, they could open a military school for officers. Nigeria has it. Ghana has it. Liberia needs one. Okay? But again, look, like I said, it shows some weaknesses, a lot of weaknesses in Liberia education system.
So,
It shows,
Brown,
it shows that
you're
our
with
young
Jeremiah
people-
Koung talking about Liberian people are tough. They got tough army. Then you take a back door and then you say the Liberian people don't have the education and stuff. Which is it?
What I'm
As
saying,
the AFL hungry? Yes. Do they have
Mixed
roster
messages,
going?
mixed
Yes.
messages we get people online today.
No,
Mixed
no.
messages.
Right.
no, No, but the point I'm
One
trying to
hundred
make,
percent.
I don't know
These
about
guys are
those people.
the way you're
I
talking
don't know.
defense, CEO.
I don't know about those other people that already been indoctrinated into the military. Okay, I'm only speaking based on this broadcasted recruitment that went on. Okay, that's what I'm speaking to. The rest of the other people who were in the military, I don't know how the process was and what criteria they met and so forth. But I'm only speaking based on this one I was broadcasted. Again, I think as a Liberian or
I'm not disagreeing with you on anything that you said. But on one hand, you're critiquing the AFL but not being competent. And one other hand, you say they're ready to die. Are you a young boy or not? What's going on here, bro? Are they competent or not?
like, AFA is competent. AFA is
Edwin, I'm as
competent. They have been
confused. I'm
trained.
as
Look,
confused, Edwin.
look. AFA is competent. AFA have been trained by the world best military unit.
Mr.
AFA was
Montgomery,
trained
go
by
like, bro, don't drink
United
that
States
tomato
Marines.
juice that Brown
No,
selling you. That tomato
AFL
juice, what you saying right now, don't drink it. Don't drink
no,
it.
I'm
no.
highly disappointed.
AFL,
I'm
AFL
very
were
disappointed
trained by the
with
United States
you
Marines, and that's the fact. So AFL members are tactical. Okay, they are prepared. Okay, well, I don't want to say equipped because maybe they don't have the equipment, but they are well trained. Okay, so they are very tactical. They know what they're going to be doing, and they know what to expect in the time of war, because they're trained by the Marines, the best military in the world, man. U.S. Marines.
This
Again,
is more a wedding speech than an army speech, bro. I'm sorry. This is when you gotta talk to the Brown
the
family
CEO
or
is
something like that.
deliberately trying to gaslight us, and this is not fair to this show, CEO.
On
no, I'm
purpose,
not.
he's doing that. It's
No,
not
okay.
working. You're gaslighting people.
No, I'm not gaslighting. Okay, gentlemen, how am I gaslighting you guys? How?
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Dr. Water, so we'll go to the
I
next.
think
The next.
I think we all here can agree that our education system needs overhauling. In fact, it needs to be transformed. We all can agree with that, and there is no one here that can, disprove that. Former President Salif said that the education system was a mess, and ever since then, we have not had real intentional or effort to reform our education system. So we all know that. At the same time, okay, while it is true that we recognize that, but we should also recognize that you can have the best education system, but you will need the individuals themselves to step up to benefit from that. Okay, maybe besides Sergeant Montgomery, the three of us here, we are a product of the Liberian education system. Okay, but we can read well, we can articulate well, right? Why is that? Why that is different from us and from other people? Sometimes we should also look at the individual themselves. Okay, while it is true that we recognize that our education system need to be fixed, but we also need to encourage individuals to be serious about what they are being taught. The teacher does not make the student make the teacher. Okay, if you are willing to learn, you put pressure on the teacher to teach well. But if you just want to buy grades because it's affordable, because it's available rather, then that is what you're going to get. Okay, there are people in that are produced by the Liberian education system that we are very proud of, very very proud of. Okay, so let us not just put all of the blame on the education system, which of course I know that it needs to be reformed, but individuals themselves need to take responsibility also.
Yeah, but again, anyway, gentlemen, let's go to the last topic real quick. I think that the water will be leaving soon, so um, it's this xenophobia thing that is happening around Africa, and especially in South Africa. Um, Let us, watch a video and then talk about it real quick.
according to our laws, like I said to you, you've got 90 days visitors visa. For 90 days, you can stay for free in South Africa. You're a visit. You're considered a visit. Okay. So when you've overstayed your welcome, Baba, go fix your country. To start with, there's no war in Ghana.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. There's no one who's trying to persecute you.
No.
Okay. When you're an economic migrant. When you ran away because of hunger from your country.
That's what you see. What you have said now, for that one is true. Like when you say I ran away because of economic, that's one I agreed. But it wasn't like I don't want to support the government to. I don't want to fix the.
How old are you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm turning 38.
38. Yeah. Let me tell you, Baba. Ne? Let me tell you, my guy, ne? You are a capable African man. So if you don't fix your country, you see what we are doing here? The reason why we want you to go back to your countries, we want to fix our country. So you guys must also go back and fix your countries. We are not xenophobic, but we are patriotic and we want Africa to rise. Africa, we are the richest continent in the world. We are the richest. But you guys, you are running away from the riches in your country. You come to South Africa. And all of you, and all of you, you keep on talking about African unity. African unity in one country. Remember, South Africa, we are one of the smallest countries in the continent. Do you know that? We are one of, and all of you want to come here to South Africa. You said your name, I saw your name is Asimao. Asamoah. Look, bruh. Look, bruh. Look, bruh. Go fix your countries. Go fix your countries. You know what? Whoever who's doing these fraudulent things for you, listen. Okay.
I understand him that
Yes.
I will go home, but yes, I understand, but I
Listen,
understand
my
that
brother.
I'm going home, but
Yes.
what I was
Listen.
saying, yeah.
Listen, my brother. Ne? We're not doing this out of hatred. Out of hatred. We're doing this out of the love of Africa. We want Africa to rise. But if you are running away from your countries of origin, you're coming to South Africa, who's going to fix Ghana? Who's going to fix Ghana?
For everyone who's wanna.
My brother. No, guys. We must do better. We must do better, guys.
Please go home. You see now, we are here to ensure that the spaza shop does not open. And this is the second spaza shop that we came to. We are coming for the saloons. We cannot have young men like yourself that are running away from hunger instead of fixing your countries. We can't allow that.
I think CEO, we got a concept, we got a what message.
Okay. All right, good. All right, good. Okay, guys.
Us running.
All right. There was a lot of things said in that video by the South African guy, and if we take it one at a time, we're gonna be here longer. The uptake of this video is sad. The messages they're trying to get out there is they're all pathetic. Again, I think these people have forgotten so soon. But again, I would like we'll go around the table. What is your take on this video?
Look, CEO, I was trying very, very hard to understand the young man's point because I really wanted to be very open-minded to what he's trying to communicate. He tried to be very authentic with what he is communicating, but it just sad, right? It just sad. So number one, there are white people in South Africa. Are they Africans? Have you ever stood up to a white person in South Africa? People that came in South Africa during the apartheid regime and consider themselves now to be Africans that came from different part of Europe. Have they ever stood up to those people and said, no, we want you to go back to your country. Go fix your country. You leave South Africa. Have they ever done that? He is looking at an African on African soil and saying to an African, go back to your country. The first thing here is the Ghanaian he is talking to. South Africa has a process that you have to follow for you to get into their country. Okay, whether it's through visa, whatever it is, they have a process. If you don't want Africans coming into South Africa, stop the process. Okay? Pull out all of your embassies from all of the African countries. They shouldn't give visa. They shouldn't allow Africans to come into your country. Stop the entire process. Okay, and tell Africans, tell the rest of the African countries that we don't want you here. Because of that, we are putting out our embassies from your various countries. Then I know you are serious. You have South Africans in different parts of Africa. Those various parts of Africa are not asking South Africans to leave. You know why? Because they belong there. They are Africans. We have a lot of people that are fighting Africans. Should we have to fight ourselves? Should we? On our own soil? It's a disgrace. He thinks he is doing the right thing, but he should be ashamed of himself. And no South African should be proud of this kind of video. Because what they are doing, if Africa did not stand up for South Africa couldn't have been what it is today. If Nelson Mandela would be ashamed of this video. He would never condone this kind of stuff.
Well said, well said, well said, well said.
Okay. Think that a wallow. Brother Edwin.
Well, I remember I was in Caldwell. I was sitting with a Congo Papa were eating potato greens. 700 children have been working in the UN. And I told him, I don't like the UN. I don't like to play UN. I'm not a United Nations fan. But this South Africa, this is not the first time. They had a Nigerian situation where they were beating up Nigerians in South Africa. Where in America, black people complain about racism. The blacks in South Africa, they're racist. That's just the truth. Whether you want to say or not, that's the truth. I don't have a lot to expound on this because I have been aware of this longer than most people. That is, South African blacks are very racist. So it's not new to me. I would say the Ghanaian government maybe need to look for that young man, give him a job over there or something.
They already did.
But
The
no,
process is paperwork.
yeah. So I'm not the black South African people being like that. They are reciprocating the racism that was done to them to the other black people. They don't do that with the Chinese people. They don't do that with the other light skinned people or whatever. They only do that to blacks. If you are Nigerians, you're Ghanaian, you go to that place, that's when they do that. So no, and you know what I mean? They're just being black South African to me. That's how they've been for a very long time. That's why Bafana never even went into the World Cup for a long time because they chose that racist path. They're racist to their own brothers. And like Dr. Wallace said, when Nelson Mandela was free, I remember on 12th Street, all the Teslas that were honking on the road. I live on the beach side of 12th Street. Everybody probably want to feel free Nelson Mandela. Everybody playing that cassette and that stuff. So we were always on that side, but for some reason, they're replicating what the white people did to them to their own black brothers. This is not new. So no, I think every African people go to Namibia, go to the other nearest places and stuff, but so African people have that it's embedded in them. If South African blacks, they have that racism in it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't go there. Whatever opportunities, go to other places. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Sonia Montgomery.
Yeah, CEO, again, let me just say thanks to Dr. Wallen Edwin. I thought you guys said it all. But let me tell you, let me attempt to see what the late former president of Ghana, Dr. Sajufu Kwame Nkrumah said. He said, Africa, and I'm just paraphrasing, Africa must not celebrate independence if all of Africa is not free. This right here is just proving to me that Africa, I don't know what it will take for us to come together. This xenophobia thing has started long, long ago, like Edward alluded to. It's sad. By the way, everyone does not travel because of economic hardship in our country. No, some people decide to just go on a tourist visit. Some people just decide to want to relocate. But most time when you find these things, it is the South African that are blaming other Africans for coming into the country because they as a South African, they are not getting jobs. See, or there are other videos that are even more
Yeah.
daring, that are even more damaging.
I
This
didn't
one
want
was
to
just
show
a
those ones. I didn't
yeah,
want
I
to show it.
understand that,
Yeah.
but
It's
it
too
is bad.
violent.
There are Nigerians that has been killed. There are Ghanaians that has been killed, and so on and so on. But in this 21st century, we are even asking for Africans to visit the other African country by using visas. Africa is not free. We cannot enjoy. There's no independence in Africa yet. You got to liberate the man from his mindset before you can start seeing changes. We are still slaves to ourselves. I just want to stop there. I think Dr. Waller Edwin said it all.
Yeah.
And Pastor Kroma, you CEO, just 1 second. You are 100% right. Look, this kind of video proves that we are still carrying out the slave mentality. Okay, the land might be free, but our minds are still in slavery. For for a black South African to look at another African and say, "You're not welcome here. Go back to where you came from." It's sad. Let me give you an example. We Liberians, enshrined in our constitution, we said in our constitution, before you become a citizen of our country, you have to be of African descent. We don't want white people becoming citizens of our country. So what did we do? We put it in our constitution. A Ghanaian can be a citizen of Liberia. A Nigerian can be a citizen of Liberia. An African American can be a citizen of Liberia. African descent. We put it there. The day we don't want it, we'll say, okay, let's repeal that. We will take it out. If you don't want people coming into your country, pass the law. Pass it. But as long as the process is still free for people to come in your country, whether it's white, whether it's black, whether an African or European or whatever, they will come there. They will come there. But for safety, for the safety of other Africans, I would say stay away. Stay away from there. Stay away from there. It just pathetic. Pathetic.
Dr. Waller,
honestly.
I already crossed out South
I
Africa
think
and France out of my
all of you
traveling
guys,
list. I don't
all of
go-
you guys
I'm
have
not
said it
gonna go there.
right. I think this generation of South African men and women, I don't think they understand the history of the apartheid rule in South Africa. They don't understand the role other African nations play during the time Nelson Mandela was jailed, when Ghana and Nigeria was offering passport to South African businessmen and women, and they were flying with Ghanaians' names and Nigerians' name all around. Have they forgotten so soon? But again, you guys have said it right. And there's a lot of videos are disturbing, and I did not want to show it. It's too brutal, violent, and I decided to just pick one that I think we can pick from their words, their the synthesis and other stuff, and dissect it. Look, there are some other videos where they incited the business men and women in South Africa, Chinese, Indians, white, and they're asking them that they need to be hired, but the Africans that are being hired there should be expelled. What? So you're telling me those people are welcome to stay there and do businesses there, but your brothers and sisters should leave because you want a job? That's fine. That's fine. Like you guys just said, I think the Ghanaian government, the president did address the issue, and he spoke to the issue. maybe the South African president did speak to the issue, but I have not heard. I have not seen a video yet. Okay. There are some Ghanaians and Nigerians who are trying to retaliate and try to ask South Africans and to leave the nations, but the Ghanaian government asks for peace, and they don't want no disturbances going in the country. They're going to stay calm, and they're going to handle it diplomatically. But again, like Sergeant Montgomery said, everybody said here, I think the best thing to do is for your country to pull out all the nationals from that country and take them home. Let's look at it.
I'm sorry, Brown, but the South African president not gonna help. The anonymity is within the people, and people got more power. People vote people
But
in.
what I'm saying, but
whatever the
needs
South
to
African
address the
president
issue.
says, he's just gonna save face and stuff, but it's not gonna help because
But
it's
at least
going on with the
address the
regular people.
issue. You can have different national in your country.
I forgot. Sorry, guys, I forgot. You guys are diplomat. I forgot.
No, see, I'm just saying the best way to be done. But let me ask you guys other question here. All right, what's the positive side of this message that you guys seen or you guys heard? Is any
Positive side
positive
of
message in
it.
there?
No, that guy was the way he was talking. It sounded like those slow poison kind of thing. That's how he don't know.
No, but
I think
I'm
being
speaking.
used as
I'm
a-
speaking. Okay, let's say for Ghana, right? He telling this
Mhm.
young man to go to Ghana and develop Ghana. Okay, I'm saying
No,
what
but
do you-
the
what do
South
you
African
foresee-
man, the South African man is being used as a vessel. You don't really know it. Brown, what would I tell a black brother that's in my country? Like, they may not know who run his area, who run the factory and stuff. Say, but you say you tell it in a nice way. This guy's racist. What I say in a way that is so harsh or whatever, he's a racist. Whatever way he say it, because this thing that he's doing, it doesn't make sense. That's why I'm saying he was being used as a vessel, but you don't even know that you're being used as a vessel.
You know.
People are seeing that because the Nigerian people, they were fighting and stuff when Nigerian they were trying to draw the Nigerian way. People were fighting. People could see that action. But seeing somebody talking in a calm manner, being racist, like a Karen in America here, being racist in a calm manner, that's when you need to get the hell out of that place, because this black South African water, they're gone, bro.
All right. So, uh, again, I think it's pathetic, it's sad, but I think I think the mistake here is Africa, why Africa did not unite at the point where Kwame Nkrumah and other great leaders were involved in uniting Africa. I think that's a big mistake. And those mistakes have learned us here. So again, we here. I think the broken pieces can be picking up and be put back together again. But it's hard. If we look at the Liberia, you know how many Liberians are out of Liberia seeking a better life that are helping Liberia economy. So I think every country now need to focus on developing their country and making the economy stable. So at least it will be very hard, very difficult for the citizen, the common citizen, to live. I mean, if you're a business personnel and you want to go and start a business in other country, that's fine. But a common man should be able to take care of his family, at least.
Well,
least. But it
I got some jersey here. I'm about to throw one jersey to Dr. Wallow. The reason why we keep preaching a business person, a Comey kind of type person, because only finances can balance country. That's why we keep pushing finances in the country, and we never had that. We need a financial person to come that will have a solution for people, to have people to go to work and stuff. You can politic all you want, but if people working and stuff, they're busy about it and stuff, they're going by that fisherman doing that thing, sewing people doing that thing, people they're earning income and all that stuff. Nobody gonna care about politics too much. So that I wanna grab that jersey. I gave you number 11.
Get him in number 9. All right, gentlemen. I think it was a
CEO,
wonderful. I think it was a wonderful show. Oh,
la-
Montgomery, you want to say
last, la,
something?
yeah, lastly from me here, two things can be true, CEO.
Yeah.
I think this is also must serve as a caution to our African leaders. Why it's true that people could just decide to travel for the heck of it, but also let us start to do right by our people. Sometimes our people are marginalized because of the treatment they are even getting from their own country. So I think if we start doing right by our people, the government must stop stealing. They must be very transparent. Let everybody has a share, have a share at the pie.
That's what I
That they
told
will
you.
not run.
Let's share
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
wealth.
That's what I'm saying. Two things. Everything can be true,
Yep.
but
Yep.
we will not look at this situation to start marginalizing ourselves. By
Yep.
right, Africans, a Ghanaian must be able to drive into Liberia without asking for passport.
Yep.
At this stage, that's what we were expected for us to be. But it looked like we've retrogressed. We've gone
Oh,
backward.
we have the ECOWAS passport, first of
The
all.
Equa passport is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the ECOWAS passport is still there, but trust me, Pado, these guys are not even honoring these things. When you go to Africa, Ivory Coast with an ECOWAS passport, you are stopped, you are asked to get down. They're asking for different things just for some kind of bribery. But again, that's a different thing on a local
That
level.
Wallow, Sai Montgomery is 100% correct because I experienced this. When I used to travel with the bus, I would keep my, if I get my real passport, they
Yeah,
charge
I
me more
experienced
at
it
the
myself. Yeah,
checkpoint. If I
All
get
right.
my
I think.
international passport,
I think
they
what the
charge me
point the
more.
point the point Sergeant Montgomery is making is very brilliant. I think our leaders need to come to the table and sit. How can one man be making 200,000, $150,000 a year, just off the country natural resources and the pay? But you have somebody who mother is in the market selling, making $1 or less than 50 cents a day to feed herself and her family. That's unfair. That is just unfair. That is wickedness. That's why they need to have social programs to help these people out. It's crazy. And these are the same people who come on national TV and start accusing people. Oh, yeah, if, if anything happen, let Donald Trump send them back. This is a country, come and fix the country. No, no.
Brian, you're funny, but you don't even know it. You don't want just say and say Jeremiah Kung was trying to be a nationalistic person by something that come on, bro.
No, I'm being for real, bro. I think this stuff needs to stop. They need to share the national wealth of the country so other people can have some share of it. That in a way, you have people relocating to different places, to different parts of the world, just for economic status. It is wrong. It is dead wrong. Again, gentlemen, we have a wonderful show. And again, we're going to go through our
I
closing
think me and
statement.
Montgomery won because you beat yourself at the same time. You
yeah, yeah.
recycle back,
They,
and
they,
then you argue against yourself,
and
and
right
then we
back to what we were
just
saying.
It wasn't a
That's how it
debate.
is.
It wasn't a
you take
competition.
the dusty
Uh,
road, that road, come right back to the same location. It's
You
It
right
okay.
wasn't
back
a
to what we were
debate.
saying. And I saw you.
It
I saw the
wasn't a
smart move you trying to
competition.
make. I saw the smart movie you were trying to make by helping Dr. Woloye by bringing the comments card. But I will not even respond.
No,
That was a
I
smart
had
one.
some.
I like
I
that.
had some jersey. I had some jersey in my bag away, so
Yeah.
I threw in some jersey.
So you gain number 11.
All right, all right, gentlemen.
I will
Let's
step
go
back.
through our closing statement, and then
Yeah, let me start.
yeah, Dr. Waller.
Yeah, I think it was a fascinating conversation. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
doing Sergeant Montgomery, and CEO. Thanks for holding it down as well. Let's continue to engage. Let's continue to be truthful to ourselves and the responsibility God has placed in our hands concerning Liberia. God did not make a mistake to make each of us Liberians, right? And we have that responsibility for us to contribute to the development of that country in whatsoever way we can do that. That would be a very good thing to do. So every time we step up here, we have to be sincere and truthful to our conscience because people are listening. Okay, if you think that people are not listening, people are listening. So I'm always thrilled and happy to be here to contribute my own idea on what I think our country needs to move forward. And thank you, everybody. And let God bless Liberia. Let God bless our president. And let God bless each and every one of us.
Thank you, Dr. Water. Sergeant Montgomery, you want to do the closing? You want me to go and then
Yeah,
Edwin go, or what? Who one of you guys want to do the
yeah,
closing?
I'll close. I'll
You
close.
close? Okay. Edwin, you want me to go or you want to go?
You can go, bro. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Dr. Wallow, Sergeant Montgomery, and Brother Edwin, I just want to say thank you again for your contribution on this platform. Again, Liberia is a beautiful country. I think we need love. We need people who wants. We need people who want development in our country to transform that country. Again, it's gonna take love. It's gonna take somebody who is patriotic to transform Liberia. Again, Africa is a beautiful continent, one of the richest continent. It's the richest continent in the world, and I think with managing our resources, we can do better. Again, Liberians on the side of Guinea encroaching on our land, it is, I would say, it is a weakness on the side of Liberia not to be able to protect and defend its sovereignty. Nobody's asking for a physical altercation or war, but there should be some counter aggression towards that. Again, I would just say those people who are inspired or who have contributed or who have participated in our civil discourse during the 13th Civil Year War. If you are interested in the military, I think it's better for you to go and sign up and be part of the military than try to invoke yourself into action where you are not recognized as a defense mechanism or defense body of the nation. Again, um, they love Liberia, love our country. Again, stay blessed. Brother Edwin.
Edwin.
Well, I have never had any closing like this. To that young girl that were trying to interpret the words in front of her because she wasn't taught correctly. Whether you're washing, if you're not washing, I'm gonna state this again, you're brave, you're beautiful, you have a heart, you want to defend your country, and do not let the comments on Facebook to pull you down, to make you feel like somebody that you're less than. You're a very powerful person, you're a natural person, you're a queen, and you have to carry that confidence or whatever you want to carry it. Yeah, you didn't pronounce the word today, but it's the breakdown of the system of our country. This is not on you. I'm never gonna blame it on you. I think you're a smart person. I really do. I really think you're a smart person. But yeah, that's all I have to say, brothers.
Thank you.
Again, let me say thanks to you, CEO, and of course my fellow panelists here, and of course to our listening and viewing audience via social media line. This is again the Action Required Media. Thank you for staying tuned. Please, we ask that you share and like our shows whenever you see us. We are also on YouTube. But thank you for your time and your comments. We feed off of it as well. It's been a very good show, CEO. I must say thanks to you for always affording and providing the space for us to speak to trending issues that face our continent, of course, Liberia as well. It's been a good show, but this is how I would like to do my closing. Something just played out to me right now, and I'm a realist. I like to act in real time. Let me just commend my brother Edwin here. You know, look, there are real fathers around Liberia and around our world. You know, I don't have a girl child, but whenever I see a father who is very affectionate with his child, as such as being displayed here, it tells me that there are good fathers around. And everyone must commend you because look, they say girls are for the fathers. It takes a lot for girls to really fall in love. When they fall in love with a father, it speaks to who that individual is. So I will do my closing by saluting you, Edwin. I like the affection that you share with your child, especially when we are here on this public platform. It speaks a lot to who you are, and I must say thank you. That's how I do my closing.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Thank you,
it.
gentlemen.
You're welcome.